Hey, what's up? This is Ricky with Re-Review, and today we're going to be taking a look at WA Production's latest synthesizer, Babylon 2. As the name implies, this is an updated version of their original Babylon plugin. Babylon 2, for brief background, is a wavetable synthesizer. The way wavetable synthesis is different than analog synthesis is because it uses pre-recorded audio, short little clips essentially, named waveforms. And so you mix and modulate them and create your own sound, and it's a little bit more of a complex and robust digital sound than you would get out of analog. Both wavetable and analog synthesis are great. It's just a matter of what you want the outcome to be. So let's take a quick look at WA Production's website. All right, so let's take a look here. We're on WA Production's website. We're going to make sure to leave a link in the description of this video. Babylon 2 is currently on sale for $29.90 US at the time of recording this, and it says about in 8 days it's going to go up to its full retail price at $100. So for the sake of reviewing purposes, we're going to just think of this as a $100 plugin. It has a free demo to try, which is nice. We have a couple endorsements and kind of demos, but we're going to skip that. We're going to use hands-on today, obviously. If we come down here to the bottom, they have a quick list of all the new features. So let's go over that real quick. It's a single-page synthesizer, so it's kind of easy to digest. New oscillator modes, wavetable editor, scale, and per note microtonal options. That's really cool. You can create some really complex and complicated and intricate sounds with that. That'll be fun. Intelligent ARP, new filter types, reprogrammed effects, modulators, matrix, 200 plus high-res waveforms. That's pretty cool. This might just be me, but I like when there's a lot of new stuff built into plugins. It kind of gives me a new perspective on production. 200 plus high resolution waveforms built in, 858 factory presets. For the price, that's quite a bit. We'll definitely have to check those out. All of the original Babylon features are retained, and obviously a full PDF manual and tutorial video. There's something really important to note here. Presets from Babylon 1 are not compatible with Babylon 2. That's pretty disappointing. If you're a Babylon 1 user, this is not great. We're going to go ahead and open Logic now and try it hands-on. Okay, so we're inside Logic here, and this is the main menu of the plugin. So all your factory presets here, kind of foldered out, which is nice that it's not all in one. Up at the top here, you have your main menu. You can save and rename presets, load presets, pretty standard. Something cool that I noticed is you can really customize the plugin to look however you want to look. This is simply a cosmetic upgrade here, but I remember a time when plugin companies were charging quite a bit of money for skins. Up at the top here, we have oscillator 1 with your basic source of the waveform, the X and Y position, your FM, AM, RM modulation, some unison controls, amp parameter, and some pitch. It's going to be virtually the same down here for oscillator 2. Similar to synthesizers like Serum, you oftentimes have the ability to take two waveforms, kind of blend them together and customize them from there. Here we have our effects parameters, and if you want, you can kind of reorganize them to however works best for you. Matrix here, modulation, the keys, ARP, and tune functionality. I misspoke. There's actually a third oscillator up here, and then we have our filter and envelope. Back at the top here, we have our max poly, so you can go all the way up to 64 if you're going for something really big, maybe a super saw where you need those extra voices. Your mode, legato, poly, portamento. So there's a lot of standard options here. The ability to transpose here, which is kind of nice, but personally, I don't use it that much. I just transpose the MIDI. All right, so I'm going to stop talking and play some presets here. We're going to start with some of the bass, and then we'll go through and kind of check them out. Very first preset in the very first folder, we have the ARP Bass Acidic 1. I'm just going to scan through and play a few at random. All right, let's check out some of just the regular basses. A lot of 808 909 drums here. We have some keys here. So important note I forgot to mention is that if you click down here for the W, that stands for Wavetable, you have all of the wavetables that come with the plugin. That's pretty cool. All right, so for demonstration purposes, I'm going to try to make a quick melody here using only stock presets. So we have this key preset, Key Dreamscape 4D. Let's start clicking. There we go, that's a little bit better. This old vocal synth preset here. Adjust the filter a little bit and maybe make it legato. There we go. A little bit more glide. Okay. Back to the keys here. All right, so very basic chords on this one. It's just the idea here. Do filter this down a little bit. Adjust the reverb. Okay, so let's throw a pluck in here. In the root note, I'll just do triplets. Keep it simple. I like that. A little bit higher. All right, so we're going to add a bass now. All right, we're just going to go with a basic sine. Right, and we're just going to layer the sub, just a top bass. Definitely going to have to come up an octave for that. Let's look at some of the hard basses here. This might be too much, but let's just take a look. All right, so I want to look at the tuning parameters here. I have it linked so that whatever changes I make here are going to happen across the whole keyboard. So I'm going to take, let's just hit G here. That I was already messing with. Put that back to 0. So I'm going to turn this way up. So if I go up an octave, G2 is going to be modulated in the same way. G1, G3, G4. Something I think is really cool is the presets here. You do major, Dorian, Phrygian. If you took music theory, you probably remember all of these and might not have fond memories, but really cool Arabic and Persian presets here. So let's mess with one of those. All right, so we're going to try out Nava here in the key of G. Now, I noticed that really the only thing that tunes is the D sharp. That's really interesting. Let's try one more here. All right, so the Iraq preset reload. I'm going to actually go to the key of A. All right, so I got C sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, and B all tuned down 50%. So that's pretty cool. Someone like me who's not the most versed in music theory, don't tell my former professors, thank you. Personally, for me, I can create more interesting melodies without having to take out my notes from college. I like that. All right, so let's check out the ARP here. Clicked on the off button. We have up, down, down, up in poly. Up, down it is. Okay, let's try to make some adjustments here. That's pretty straightforward. Now generate, that's nice. If you just want a fresh idea, click that. You can come up with a pattern for you for some variation in your projects. That's pretty cool. Let's mess around with some of the effects. So that's just kind of a brief overview. Personally, a few things I liked. ARP was pretty straightforward. So the tuning functionality is definitely one of its strong suits. I thought that was pretty cool. The presets are pretty good. For the price point, it's a really strong option. It has a lot of customization options in both its sound and its look. I think if you're in the market for a budget-friendly software synthesizer and you just want to try something new, this is a pretty good option. Is Babylon 2 something you could see yourself using? Is it something you're already using? Drop a comment down below. Let's start a discussion here. We're going to have the link to Babylon 2 in the description of this video. And while you're down there, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel here. Here at WeRaveYou, we have articles going up daily, social media posts going up daily, a monthly free magazine. We're going to be putting out a lot more video content coming soon. And it's all for free. So do us a favor and hit subscribe and follow us on social media and stay tuned for the next review.